making a name for yourself and building upon it. Okay, so anyone who has experience in marketing or sales knows the terms creating a brand, or building a base. So it's about who are you as a writer, who's your audience, who are you writing for, right, and what do you love to write. Now, who you write for might change, obviously, because if for instance, I wrote a newspaper article for The Artery here in Huntsville, obviously my audience for that was different, because that was in the Valley Planet, so I knew it was going to be anyone who reads the Valley Planet was my audience. That's different from my typical audience. My typical audience is usually poetry, and it's usually people who know me or are familiar with my work. Okay, but keep in mind, everyone has to start somewhere. Okay, and there are tons of resources out there to freely market yourself. So we live now in the age of social media. So whether it's Facebook or Twitter, and there's just tons and tons of options out there that you can completely for free market yourself, right? I started, like I said, a year and a half ago taking myself seriously as a writer. One of the things that I did was I created a Facebook author page. So I have my own personal Facebook page still, but I have Alexander Duck, public figure, author, as a Facebook page. In a year and a half, I mean, of course, it just started with like a few people that I know. Now I'm up to almost, I think, 300 followers on there. And there are people who follow my Facebook author page who do not know me in real life, who are not on my personal Facebook page. So what that means is there are people out there who only know me as Alexander Duck, author. They have no idea who I am other than that. But they know me through my Facebook. And that's a huge marketing tool, because then they will tell other people they know about me, and the only context they have for that is that I am an author, or that I'm a writer. So that helps to, again, build your image, build your brand, and expand your base. And then I mentioned Vistaprint for all of like your physical media, because it is really, really inexpensive. I think I got 250 business cards, I think for like $10 or something, because I've used them for other stuff. So I am on their promotional emails. I wait till they send out a good promotion, and then I go and I buy some more business cards. Out of those 250 business cards, I'm down to like 10. So, and again, that's one of those things where every opportunity. So I go to Out Loud Huntsville, if I go to one of their events, if I go to any kind of writing event, whether it's at the college or work or at a school, and I take those cards with me and I hand them out to any person I think might be interested in following me on Facebook, or following me, subscribing to my YouTube channel, which I have now, or checking out my Amazon offer page. All these things super important, because again, it's all about just getting out there. And the one quote here with the asterisk, this is me quoting myself, but the thing that I started saying last year was the key to success is shameless self-promotion. And that is true. If you are in any kind of artistic venue, any kind of artistic field, the way that you succeed is by not being afraid to promote yourself. Now, you don't have to be obnoxious about it. Like, there are ways that you can do it and still be, cordial. But it comes back to, again, anyone, if you've ever worked in sales or marketing, you've heard this probably hundreds of times, you lose every sale you don't ask for. So if you don't tell people that you meet that you're a writer, no one's ever going to know that you're a writer. Now, I can tell you from personal experience, when I was making these coffee table books, that I approached people who I thought, this person's not going to be into poetry, this person's not going to want, they're obviously not going to want a book. But I still approached them and I still said, hey, my name is Alex, you might not know this about me, but I'm a writer, and I'm producing a book next month. Would you be interested in ordering one? And they would be like, oh, what kind of book? How much are they? And I actually made sales that way. I actually sold books to people who I never thought would have wanted them. I sold books to people who don't like poetry, but they wanted a book because they knew it was something that I was producing and they wanted to show support. Or because they happened to read some of the stuff I'd liked, and they're like, I normally don't like poetry, but I like your poetry. So yes, let me get a book when they come out. So again, it's about asking, and just letting people know, like, hey, I'm a writer, I love to write. If you hear about anything, let me know. And I'll give some other examples of that later. But I have this quote from Scott Stabile, and he's a writer, and he says, when someone rejects you for whatever reason, that rejection reflects their wants, not your limitations. You are in no way defined by the rejection or the acceptance of anyone else. Your worth depends on no one. And as hard as it can be to see it as such, there is a big gift in not connecting with those who don't see your value as there is in uniting with those who do. So I put that in there because, again, like I said, you get 100% of the sales you don't ask for, you lose. So you tell everybody. No, they very, very well tell you no. That's going to happen. That's okay. That's not a reflection on you. It's just your job to promote yourself, because no one is going to promote you for you. And that comes from Sheila Wofford, who, I don't know if you guys probably aren't familiar with her, but she's an actor and a producer in Chattanooga. She's part of she runs the Chattanooga Actors Guild, or she's part of the Chattanooga Actors Guild. She has her own production company called Live to Inspire. She's been an actor for many years. And it was sitting down having this conversations with her when I was producing this book that all came about, which is that if you won't promote yourself, no one will promote for you. So you have to believe in yourself and what you're doing.